Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Lost Mine Pokemon Trading Card Game podcast. Not podcast. This is a main channel video. I'm Lucas, and we have a deck profile today with En's Zoroark. Pretty sick. I'm a huge En Zoroark fan, so I'm excited that it's going to be good next format. And it does look quite strong with the draw power it offers. I'll start by showing you the 4/4 line of Zoroark. Hell yeah. I think this guy is just... You need 4/4. He is your draw engine. He is your damage. Buffs your consistency. Incredibly important. Next up, we have the 2/1 Darm. Unsure about this card, but I think it's pretty good. I like Flame Body Cannon, and in this format especially, there's a lot more setup decks. So you can easily target them down in the early game, and you can punish them for not being able to set up literally everything through Darmanitan with Zekrom. If they put down one big stage 2 Pokemon, you can just Binding Mochi, Black Belt them, and then Rampaging Thunder with Zekrom, kill them, and then their early game became their late game in a sense. They have no setup. Your Zekrom is annihilating their only thing. And Reshram's good into like Dragapult, for example, for when you've already knocked them out with Zekrom, you've depleted your resources, and they do 200 to you. You just Powerful Rage them. It's pretty good. And then we have, for the rest of the Pokemon, we have a Fez. I mean, incredibly normal. We have Petch, which is your retreat option. It is your Binding Mochi activator. It is your monkey damage in some scenarios. Very strong card. We have Budu. Now, typically, Zoroark would not be playing Budu, but right now it is pretty good because you're playing Darmanitan in the deck. So by limiting their items, limiting their setup, Darmanitan just gets like infinite value. It is so good. You Budu, you attack with Darm, you kill multiple things, and then you just Zekrom them. It's quite strong. We have one Monkey. I mean, you're just playing Dark Energies already. You may as well play the Monkey. And then you have, especially with the amount of spread in this format, in slower spread matchups, you can put a Monkey down, and it can sometimes save the game because your Pokemon is one Monkey away from getting knocked out, and you were able to heal that with your Monkey. Also, in Froslass matchups, you can sometimes just kill their Monkey with Adrenabrain because they have how much ping is on their board. And then we play one Meowth. So Meowth is the new EX that is the Luminian equivalent. It's search deck for a supporter when you put it in play. Quite strong. I think the second attack is 60 shuffle into deck, or it's put in a hand. I forget. Searching for supporter is incredibly good in this deck because you're playing the Serrano supporter engine. So by having a way to find the Serrano every time, it's incredibly strong. So you turn 3 Serranos into 7 Serranos because you play 3 Ultra Ball. It's a bit weak to Watchtower, but you're playing so many stadiums yourself, it's not a big deal. And by the time that Watchtower is like game ending for you in like the late game when you're trying to hit boss, you already have like double or triple Zoroark in play. Your deck's pretty small. You're going to be able to hit your cards anyway. Now that Iono's gone, we have a lot more space for supporters. So we can just play 4 Lily, 3 Serrano, which was uncommon because last format Zoroark needed Iono. Right now we're replacing it with 1 Judge. Without Iono, Disruption gets a lot weaker, so it's not worth it in a lot of decks to allocate a bunch of spots to this like mid Disruption. And I think with Zoroark, you're just focusing on getting your own board set up. You're focusing on getting your own attack set up. You're not worried about disrupting them a lot of the time. Janine, incredibly strong. If there's ever an off turn, you just set up 2 Zoroarks. And it's very hard for them to break through that. And the Black Belt is very good with Zekrom math because you can go Binding Mochi Black Belt, you're doing 330. With Gravity Mountain, you're doing 360 to a stage 2 Mega. We do play Gravity Mountain. And Triple Boss is very good with this deck because you have a lot of HP very quickly in the game and you're setting up an attack very quickly. So you can boss their things and you can either Darmanitan or you can Reshiram if they have like one thing set up. It's very, very good. Next up, we have the 4 Poffins, 3 Ultra Balls, 3 Pokepads. This is just to set up your Zoras. Most of this, the Ultra Balls find the Meowths, the Pokepads find the Darmanitans, the Zekroms, the Zoras. You just need to make sure that you're putting down 2 to 3 Zoras on turn 1 most of the time, and then you're following that with 2 to 3 Zoroarks. So this deck should be doing that incredibly often. The Meowth is such a power boost for this deck. Serrano is so much better when you actually just get to play 7 Serranos. It's so good. We have 2 ends PP up. It's just an automatic way of setting up another Zoroark. You can be more aggressive. You can then use ends PP up and then attack with the Zekrom or the Darmanitan. If you whiff Power Glass, which is in the deck, you can use ends PP up to like not get punished for using Darmanitan. It's very strong. You play double Night Stretcher, which you need if you're playing a very thin line of Pokemon, because you're playing 1 Reshiram, 1 Zekrom, 1 Darmanitan. So if they ever just don't like the Zekrom being in play, they'll kill it, and you need to Stretcher that back. And then we have an Energy Search. I'm unsure about this card, but it is a thin option, and it is decently popular in Japan. So I'm gonna trust it in this scenario, but I would consider cutting this for a 8th Dark Energy. Next up, we have our tools, which is double Binding Mochi, 1 Power Glass, and 1 Hero's Cape. Hero's Cape is the tool of choice, just because decks can't really one-shot you if you have Hero's Cape. Even like the big mega stuff in a lot of situations, it's very good in spread decks because you can Hero's Cape the thing they're targeting. We play Power Glass because it's just so strong with Darmanitan. If you can go Power Glass Darmanitan early on in the game, you can use Darmanitan and there's like no repercussions. It's very, very, very good. And then we're playing double Binding Mochi. Zekrom is crazy. Literally hits every number. And with Mochi, you need Mochi to hit every number. So very, very strong. With the Reshiram, you're 2-10ing Fezzes. With Darmanitan Mochi, you're killing... No, it's not even Charmeleon. I was going to say like Charmeleon, but that's rotating. What are you killing? You're killing Monkey Dory and Frostlass into spread decks, but you don't really need Mochi for that. I'm blanking so hard. You can knock out like Zekrom plus Enzora in Mirror Match with Darmanitan. There's random numbers it fixes. This is what I'm trying to get to. And then with Pecharunt, Janine, Binding Mochi in the end of the game, if you can hit this combo, your Pecharunt is just hitting for 340. It's very strong. With Zoroark in general, you attack with Pech quite often. It's going to be less often since we don't play Energy Switch anymore. But with Janine, your Pecharunt is always going to be a threat, and Binding Mochi just takes it one level higher. You could maybe get away with playing 1 Mochi, but I think playing 2 is very worth it because of the amount of math it fixes for Zekrom alone. Our Stadium counter, which, funny story, I had to re-record this episode because I put an Artisan and a Town Store in my deck, and those are rotating. So I replaced those with 2 Ends Castle because when I was looking at the original list for the Zoroark deck, I made a few changes, but when I was looking at it originally, it played double Ends Castle, and I was kind of like, wow, I'd really love a Town Store and an Artisan in this deck. Those are rotating. So you have to replace them with something that is maybe a little bit worse, but Ends Castle is going to give you a lot of value. You don't need to bench Pecharunt now, which can be pretty good because you don't want to have low HP 2-prizers on a board where you have high HP 2-prizers so that they have more time to find cards for the high HP 2-prizers and instead can stay on trade by killing a less demanding 2-prizer, if that makes sense. And then last off, we have 7 Dark Energy. So this is pretty standard, especially with Zoroark lists that don't play Team Evo. E-Search plus 7 Dark is very unusual in this format, or like the equivalent to 8 Dark. But with all the extra space you have, you may as well just guarantee turn 1 attachment into turn 2 Darmanitan. With Darmanitan, it's very strong on the second turn of the game, not so great on the third turn of the game in a lot of matchups. It's still good. You're going to get value from it, but it's kind of like Arc V-Star, where you just want turn 1 energy, turn 2 attack, like every time with this deck. So E-Search plus 7 Dark is going to make that happen quite often. Janine is a good way of catching up. If you draw energies in your hand, you can like discard them and use Ends PP up. So yeah, this is the current Zoroark list that I have built, but this could easily change. Like if I was going to be playing the deck right now, I would consider the Hero's Cape, but I would also consider the Secret Box because I think Secret Box with Power Glass is just a match made in heaven in a lot of situations. And with Zekrom, you're finding every piece you could ever want to one-shot them. Like this is just one-shotting basically everything in the format, and this is all coming from one Secret Box. So you can grab this plus like an Ends PP up, and you just play super aggressive, super just I'm going to beat you up, and I'm just going to win because you're not going to draw out of it. And yeah, that's something that Zekrom couldn't really do last format in a non Zekrom format. But now again that, and we're using it to the best of our abilities. Thank you guys for watching. Very excited to play this deck out. You will be seeing some gameplay of Zoroark on the channel. You can make sure to like, subscribe, comment if you want to. And then you can check out Landon on Metafy. You can check out myself and Landon both on Twitter. Unfortunately, we're still on the app because we have a following. So it's really sad. And then if we all could migrate to a different platform, that'd be sick. You can also check Landon out on Twitch at, I think it's KatlerTCG. It might be Landon Katler. And then you can check myself out at Lucas Oldell, but I never stream. So, not quite a priority. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great day.